Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka Billy Indiana. Today I'm going to do a quick playthrough of the latest in the Button Shy Games Simply Solo series. This one's by Ian Tarter and is called The Daily Weather. It'll be launching on Kickstarter on February 3rd, so if you'd like to learn more about this game, stay tuned. All right, so in the daily weather, there are 5 different types of cards, and I'll just kind of walk you through the setup and the gameplay so you can see it in action and show you how each of these cards are used. These cards I'm just going to set aside for a moment. There are 6 of these, and these are what you're going to be kind of playing in the game. So set these aside for a second. And then we need to use these to set up the actual day. So I'm actually playing on February the 1st. And so I need the one that has February on it, and so I'm going to use that card, and I need the one that's got the 1st on it, so I need to use that card. And so I'm not going to need any of these cards anymore because they have the other dates. I will point out that while it also has all of the other 30 dates besides the 1st that are potentially available per month, it also has one for birthday and Valentine's Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas if you want to play a different version on a special day. So I'll set those aside. We won't need those. So I need these 2. This is our month and our date. And then we're going to look at these. This is the first week of the month, so I need the week 1 card. And I won't need this week 3. On the back, this has week 2, and this has 3, 4, and 5. So I won't need that one. So I'm doing week 1. We'll put this kind of up here towards the top. And then the day of the week, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then there's summer and fall on one side, and there's winter and spring on the other side. So this is Sunday morning. And so I'm going to do Sunday morning, and I'm going to make sure the winter is showing. And then I just align those like that. So it's the first week of February. February 1st is the date. I'm in the winter season on a Sunday. And so this tells me on Sunday, I need to match the pattern that's in this winter. And so I need to get 2, let's see if I can get the light better, there we go. I need to get 2 and then a row and then 2, that's the pattern I'm looking for. And then the arrow for Sunday points me to this dark square, which means when I'm looking at these cards, they all have different symbols. It's either a cloud, a sun, a raindrop, or a snowflake. And then they either have a solid background, a split background with a kind of a lighter and darker color, or a striped background. And so I need to get that dark, solid background 2 space 2 in the pattern by the end of the game. I also need to cover everything except for February and 1 on these 2 cards, and that's what these cards are for. I'm going to be laying them down and playing them on top to do that. So that tells me my goal. I need to get the dark colored in that pattern. I also need to, if I want to score well, have my stars, like the stars are the points. I need to have either the water droplets, the snowflakes, the sunshine, or the clouds in groups of size 3 or larger. So I want to try to get my different icons clustered together there. All right, and then this tells me how I need to set it up. So I need to set the month here. Let me make sure I leave enough room. I might even slide these a bit higher. All right, so a month there, and then a space for a row, and then the date there. And then I've got these cards. And now for these cards, we want to shuffle them, and you kind of flip them over. Once you've shuffled them and got them into play, you can't flip them anymore. So this just makes sure you have a really randomized collection of 6 cards. And I'm just going to set these here as kind of my draw pile. You're going to take 2 into your hand, and then you're going to be able to play these 2, but you can also see the next one that's coming. So you kind of have 2 that you know, and you're going to play one of them, and you can see the next one coming. So I need to find a way to play these, and the restrictions are that I have to match at least one of these icons perfectly, both in the symbol and the background, to cover up. And I want to try to find a way to hide everything on this card except for the February, and I want to hide everything on this card except for the 1. So I'm looking at how I might be able to do that. I can see one, I see this in this card, this sun has the stripes, and this sun has the stripes. So if I cover that like that, then that's going to cover most of my days. I just need to get that 4 covered. And so that's maybe a good start. I'm going to just kind of play this game quickly. And I draw my other cards. So I always have 2 to choose from and 1 to preview. And so now I'm thinking, okay, well, how can I continue that? This one actually looks, maybe not. I was thinking I could go this way. That's going to cover February. So let's see. How about if I do this, let's see, could I go some way to cover? Yeah, let's do that. So if I go like this, I've got the cloud with stripes and the cloud with stripes, and then that's going to cover that whole bottom row. All right, now I need to remember, I need to have this pattern, 2 and then an empty row and then 2 that have the solid blue color. And so right now I've got, oh, that's going to be tough to cover, but I might be able to, we'll see. I've got 2 here that are side by side, and then I would need blank, and I've got 1 here. So if I can somehow get a dark blue here, that might be a good strategy. So now I draw another card, so I've got 2 to play. Again, I need to get the January covered, the March covered, and this 4 down here covered. I've got 4 cards left. All right, let's see. Can I find it easier, at least for me, maybe it's just the way my brain works, I tend to find it easier to get the pattern of this done sooner than later. So I'm trying to see, is there some way I could easily get another solid? If I do this, I've got striped sun, so if I do that, now I've got my dark blue space, dark blue. So I've got my pattern. All right, now I just need to get March, January, and the 4th covered. And let's see if I can do that. I've got 3 cards left, so it's going to be, those 3 cards are going to have to get that done. So let's see, I see this striped sun here coming up. I might be able to use that to cover the 4. I think if I spin that around, that'll work. And then I am looking at the striped cloud, or the like split cloud. So if I do that, that covers up March. And then I need to cover up January. I want to make sure I don't lose my pattern here. So I'm just going to cover up January like this. Striped snowflake. And now I've got my, oh, I could have drawn this card before playing that one actually. And then now, how was I was looking at it this way, I think. The striped sun. All right. Now, I haven't really been thinking about my scoring. I'm just trying to achieve my winning condition, because to have a winning condition, you have to have the month and the day showing, and you have to have this pattern revealed. So I've got my pattern. I've got dark blue space, dark blue. So I've got my pattern, and I've got my February and my 1 as the only dates. So I am able to win. Now I'm looking at groups of 3 or more for any of the water droplets, snowflakes, suns, or clouds. And I can see I've got a big group of snowflakes here. So that's 1, that's 3 or more. And I don't think I did a very good job of getting those big clusters. I have to look back at the rules. I think this might count as a group of 3 because the diagonals sometimes count. I have to look, I can check real quick here. Groups, 1 or more cells matching symbols all connect up edge to edge, so diagonal won't work. So I think I may just have that 1 cluster of snowflakes with a group of 3 or more of the same symbols, or the same weather symbols. I might be missing one, but I don't see any others. So my score for today, February 1st, would be 1, but at least I achieved the winning arrangement in the cards. And hopefully that also helps you understand how to play the game. This is a fun little puzzle, and every day it's going to be different, because you can play that day, or you can choose any day you want, obviously. But if you just play it every day, you've got a new puzzle. You're always going to have a different kind of pattern you have to fill. You're always going to be covering up different parts of the date and month cards, and it's just going to be a unique puzzle every day of the year. So if that looks interesting to you, check out that Kickstarter page. I'll put a link in the description down below. Again, it starts February 3rd. As always, thanks for watching. This is Billy, Indiana, signing off.